have to start by asking, are we really free? Do you think we are free as Africans?
Not really. We have the unfinished business of decolonizing economic structures. Yes, we have our own territory and our flag and our national anthem and football teams and all of that. But that's one particular aspect of sovereignty.
Mhm.
But if you don't have food sovereignty, if you don't have energy sovereignty, if you don't have technological sovereignty, then you don't really have full independence.
Mhm.
And it just occurred to me a couple of years ago, we were having this conversation with some colleagues. And I thought about my own education, my own experience living in Tunisia. And I thought if we didn't really have a national Independence Day that was a public holiday that was celebrated, I wouldn't have known from my education that we were colonized.
Whoa.
And I wouldn't have known from my education as an economist that those economic structures that were designed during colonial times were still persistent to this day. And that is a problem across the global south, across Africa in
Mhm.
particular, that our own education doesn't really equip us with the skills, with the tools to help us decolonize our economic structures.
Mhm.
And you see it in the form of this external debt, for example, that we have. It sounds like a problem that we've created, right? We're the ones who are borrowing. Our politicians and leaders are maybe mismanaging the resources, and some of it might be true.
Mhm.
But then deeper under the surface, you realize that there are colonial structures that were imposed on us that actually reproduce the debt trap. And when you're in debt, you're dependent on external lenders and the conditions that they impose on you. And the conditions they impose on you tend to push you deeper into those structural traps.
Mhm.
So, for example, if you think of the colonial economic design that was imposed on us, it was designed to do three things. Number one, we're supposed to be the place for cheap raw materials for colonial powers for the industrialized world.
Hmm.
We still play that role today.
Hmm.
Number two, we're supposed to be the consumers of technology and industrial output from the global north. We still play that role today. And number three, and most importantly, we were supposed to be the place where obsolete technologies, assembly line manufacturing that they no longer need, is outsourced to us under the label of development, job creation, cooperation.
Mhm.
But effectively, what it does is that it locks us at the bottom of the global value chain, at at the bottom of the hierarchy. And we still play that role today. So, of course, these are colonial structures that persist, but we have to remember that colonialism was not designed for development. It was not designed for justice. It was not designed for democracy. It was not designed to produce